हेलो एवरीवन, यस डॉक्टर आयुषी। सो हमारी आज की मेडिसिन है एस्कुलस हिपोकैस्टेनम एंड लास्ट डे यस्टरडे हमने पढ़ी थी एक्टिया रेसिमोसा। ओके, सो हम स्टार्ट करते हैं एस्कुलस हिपोकैस्टेनम के साथ। सो देखो इसका क्या नाम है, एस्कुलस हिप्पोकैस्टेनम। लाइक इसमें जो वर्ड आ रहा है हिप, इसको ध्यान रखना। इसका कॉमन नेम है हॉर्स चेस्टनट। लाइक सी, जैसे हॉर्स होता है, हॉर्स हॉर्स के चेस्ट और हिप बड़े होते हैं ना, सो इससे थोड़ा आप ऐसे करके ट्रिक बना के याद कर सकते हो कि हॉर्स चेस्टनट कॉमन नेम एस्कुलस हिपोकैस्टेनम। ओके, तो फैमिली है सेपेंडेसी। जैसे ऐसे देखो कि घोड़ा सरपट दौड़ता है, तो सरपट लाइक थोड़ा सिमिलर वर्ड सेपेंडेसी। ठीक है, ओके नेक्स्ट constitution, go for constitution. Like see, yes, for persons with hemorrhoidal tendencies and who suffer with gastric, bilious or catarrhal troubles. Okay, for persons with hemorrhoidal tendency, like एस्कुलस का सबसे important point है hemorrhoids, like hemorrhoidal tendencies who suffer with gastric, okay, bilious, yes, catarrhal troubles, yes, okay. Next is mental generals में first despondent. What is despondent? It means no hope. नेक्स्ट है ग्लूमी, टू मच सैड, वेरी इरिटेबल। ओके, नेक्स्ट है लूजेस टेम्पर इजीली। ओके, बहुत ज़्यादा गुस्सा आता है और जल्दी आता है। एंड गेन्स कंट्रोल स्लोली, यस, टेम्पर इजीली लूज एंड कंट्रोल्स गेन स्लोली। ओके, द नेक्स्ट इज मिजरेबली क्रॉस। इट मीन्स होल मूड स्पॉइल, एनी टाइम खराब ही रहता है। ओके, इन ब्रैकेट मेडिसिन इज कैमोमिला। ओके, गो फॉर कैमोमिला, पेज नंबर 93. Okay, this is our chamomilla. See, what is the symptom? Like peevish, the child is mental. In mentals, go for mentals. Child is peevish, okay, irritable, oversensitive to pain, driven to despair. Yes, driven to despair, oversensitive to pain, snappish, can't return a civil answer. Like in Aesculus, there is child is very irritable and loses temper easily and gains control slowly and miserably cross. And in chamomilla, can't return a civil answer, and child exceedingly irritable, fretful, quite only when carried. गोद में उठाओ तभी चुप होगा. Impatient, okay, wants this or that and becomes angry when refused or when offered. Petulantly reject. Yes, okay, नहीं चाहिए, अब नहीं चाहिए, मुझे चाहिए पर नहीं चाहिए, तुम दोगे तो मुझे नहीं चाहिए. Yes. And too ugly to live. Cross, spiteful. Like, do you remember that Sanicular child was so ugly? Like chamomilla child is also ugly. Okay, the next point in chamomilla is PTS. Next turn page करोगे 94 पेज पर, PTS mourning of child. Like you know what is PTS mourning? It means child ऐसे होता है, दिन भर ऐसे ही करता रहता है, because he can't have what he wants, winning restlessness. The next point is patient can't endure anyone near him. Okay, patient can't endure anyone near him, is cross and can't bear to be spoken to. Like नहीं पसंद होता, मत बात करो मेरे से. This is child attitude. Averse to talking and answers peevishly. Like so बहुत बदतमीजी से बात करता है, बहुत irritable होके, and complain from anger, especially chill and fever in child. Okay, now go for again Aesculus, our drug. Go for physical general symptom. Yes, the number one is fullness in various parts. Okay, fullness in various parts, like an undue, like उसमें बहुत ज़्यादा ब्लड भरा हुआ है ऐसे, an undue amount of blood, heart, lungs, stomach, brain, pelvis, skin, other organs. The next point is venous congestion. Okay, there is so much hemorrhoids, there is so much venous congestion, especially portal and hemorrhoidal. Yes, and mucous membrane of mouth, throat, rectum are swollen because due to congestion, and burn, feel dry and raw. There is so much burning, there is so much dryness, and it leads to so much rawness. And then nose, there is also the same kind of point, burning, rawness and dryness. Okay, nose coryza, thin, watery, burning, rawness and sensitive to inhaled cold air. Sneezing, it leads to sneezing in nose. Next point is throat. In throat, there is follicular pharyngitis. Okay, pharyngitis. And point is violent burning, raw sensation in throat, like again rawness and dryness and roughness of throat, because there is so much dryness, so much burning, so it leads to roughness, it leads to raw sensation in throat. Inclination to swallow, like वो कुछ भी निगलना नहीं चाहता, मन करता है निगलने का लेकिन नहीं निगल पाता, ड्यू टू बर्निंग, प्रिकिंग, स्टिंगिंग and dryness and rawness and dry constricted fauces. You know what is dry constricted fauces? It is during opening of mouth जो arch बनता है ना उसे बोलते हैं. So there is also dryness and rawness. Okay, other medicine are in bracket is Apis and Belladonna. Apis is on page number 33 and Belladonna is page number 55. Again, now go for Apis. Okay, yes, this is our drug Apis. Now go for physical generals of Apis. Like, see, what is the first symptom? The first symptom is extreme sensitiveness to touch. Okay, and in Aesculus there is extreme sensitive to inhaled cold air. And in Apis pain is burning, stinging, and sore. Yes. And do you remember in Agaricus there is spine sensitive to touch, and in Apis there is skin is extreme sensitiveness to touch. Even all over body is extreme sensitiveness to touch, but in Agaricus there is spine sensitive to touch. Okay. The next point in Apis is pain, burning, stinging, sore, suddenly migrating from one part to another. Okay. And in Aesculus there is burning, rawness and dryness, and swollen also, hemorrhoidal tendency. And in Apis the next point is thirstlessness. And you know what, जब हम evolution of repertory कराऊंगी ना मैं, तो मैं उसमें जो बॉडी सॉरी बीटीपी भी बताऊंगी, उसमें बताऊंगी किस रिपर्ट कौन से चैप्टर में थर्स्ट रूब्रिक है, कौन से नो थर्स्ट है, कौन सी कैंट रिपर्टरी में थर्स्टलेसनेस रूब्रिक, ये सब मैं बताऊंगी. ओके. In thirstlessness, in anasarca, you know what is anasarca? This is swelling or ascites. And okay, and the next is, yes, there is 3 point in, sorry, in 3 no, 2 point, Apis 2 point, extreme sensitiveness to touch. And the next is pain is burning, stinging, sore, suddenly migrating one part to another. Okay, now next go for our drug belladonna. Next page number 55. Yes, go for physical generals. Great liability to take cold. Like, see, do you remember in Aesculus there is also nose sensitive to inhaled cold air, and in belladonna there is great liability to take cold. Listen, listen, listen. सुनो इस साइड ध्यान लगाओ. And physical generals of belladonna, great liability to take cold. And the next point is sensitive to drafts of air. Say too much sensitive. And Apis is also Atticus also is too much sensitive, and belladonna especially when uncovering the head. And great liability to take cold from having the haircut too. This is important. The having, like, due to haircut किसको take cold होता है? belladonna के patient को. Okay, the next is great liability to take cold. Tonsils become inflamed after riding in a cold wind. Yes, थोड़ा सा सर्दी में जाने के बाद ही उसको tonsillitis हो जाते हैं. Okay, the now go for our drug again, Aesculus. Yes, this is our Aesculus. Okay, the next symptom is GI symptoms, GI system. Okay, the first is rectum. Rectum dryness and heat of. Rectum dryness and heat of. The next, in rectum feels as if full of small sticks. This is important. Full of small sticks. Like examiner question पूछेगा कि rectum and sensation as if full of small sticks. बाद में 4 ड्रग दे देगा which are similar to this symptom, but we have to choose only one correct drug, that is Aesculus Hippocastanum. And in rectum, knife-like pains shoot up the rectum, and in bracket drugs ignitia and sulfur, like knife-like pains shoot up to the rectum. Now go for ignitia, page number 154. Okay. जब बेलाडोना लिखो ना, बेलाडोना पढ़ो तो वहाँ पे ब्रैकेट में लिख लेना एस्कुलस पेज नंबर 8 and Apis page number 33. Okay, and Agaricus page number 11. Now go for drug ignitia. Yes, ignitia, there is 2 symptom in GI system. Like first is hemorrhoids. In hemorrhoids, prolapse with every stool. Like when passing every stool, there is prolapse of hemorrhoids, and in hemorrhoids have to be replaced. And in hemorrhoids, sharp stitches shoot up to rectum. And in Aesculus there is knife-like pain shoot up the rectum, and in ignitia there is sharp stitches shoot up the rectum. And aggravation for, in hemorrhoids there is for aggravation 4 hours after stool. Like even stool pass करने के कई घंटों बाद तक भी है ना उसको पेन होता रहता है. And the next is prolapses. Prolapses ani from moderate straining at stool. Like stool pass करते टाइम थोड़ा सा भी अगर पेशेंट स्ट्रेनिंग करे तो उसका प्रोलेप्स ऑफ एनआई होगा. ओके, एंड स्टूपिंग ऑफ और लिफ्टिंग, लाइक अगर कुछ वेट भी उठाए ना तब भी उसका एनएस प्रोलेप्स होगा. एंड एक्टिवेशन व्हेन द स्टूल इज लूज, लाइक डायरिया होना तब भी उसको एनएस प्रोलेप्स हो सकता है. ओके. And the next medicine is sulfur in bracket, like go for page number 297 of sulfur, like this is J system, go for J system. There is 2 point last ke hemorrhoids that have been treated with ointment, like too much hemorrhoids and patient वहाँ पे anal area में ointment लगा रहा है तब. The second is constipation. During constipation, stools are hard, knotty, as if burnt. Do you remember in last drug ignition there is stool soft हो, like loose stool हो, तब भी उसको प्रोलेप्स ऑफ एनआई है. एंड यहाँ पे उसका स्टूल हार्ड है. ओके. स्टूल हार्ड, नॉटी, ड्राई, एज इफ बर्nt, लाइक इन ब्रायनिया. And constipation, large, painful. Child is afraid to have the stool on account of pain, like so much pain in the anus in during passing stool. So child is so much afraid to pass the stool, or pain compels child to resist on first effort. Yes, first effort. Alternating with diarrhea. Okay. Constipation alternating with diarrhea. You know what? In Nux vomica, there is also a constipation alternating with diarrhea. And in last drug, okay, go for come to sulfur and alternating with diarrhea. Okay. Now go for our drug Aesculus Hippocastanum. Okay. Yes. This is GI system of Aesculus Hippocastanum. लाइक इग्निशियस सल्फर तक रीड किया हमने. नेक्स्ट हेमरॉइड्स, ब्लाइंड, पेनफुल, बर्निंग, पर्पलिश, रेयरली ब्लीडिंग. ओके. इन एस्कुलस देयर इज हेमरॉइड्स आर ऑफ पर्पल कलर, रेयरली ब्लीडिंग, लाइक नो ब्लीडिंग. एंड नेक्स्ट पॉइंट इज रेक्टम सोर विद फुलनेस, बर्निंग एंड इचिंग. ओके. एंड सल्फर अभी हमने रीड किया ही था. Next point is constipation. Okay, constipation, hard dry stool, like in sulfur, like bran, yeah, hard dry stool, difficult to pass. But in sulfur and bran, there is as if burnt. And constipation with dryness and heat of rectum. Okay, dryness, too much dry, too much rawness, too much soreness, too much pain is keynote symptom of Aesculus. And constipation accompanied by severe lumbosacral backache. Like whenever a patient says there is lumbosacral pain with constipation or with leukorrhea, then you can go for Aesculus without second thought. Okay. Now go for our drug Aesculus. Turn the next page, page number 9. This is page number 9 of Aesculus Hippocastanum. Stool followed by fullness of rectum and intense pain in anus for hours. Yes, intense pain in anus for hours. The same symptom in sulfur 2, intense pain in anus for hours. No, intense pain in anus for hours. This symptom is 297 sulfur. इग्निशिया 154. अगर आपको भी कुछ नहीं याद आए तो तुरंत जाके देख लिया करो, अदरवाइज भूल जाओगे. हमें अपनी मेमोरी पर. यस, for hours after stool, this is in ignitia drug. Like in hemorrhoids is aggravated for hours after stool, and this is same symptom is present in Aesculus. Okay, intense pain in anus for hours. This same symptom in ignitia too. Okay, in bracket our drugs are aloes. Go for page number 17 of aloes. This is our page number 17 of aloes. Like number 1 symptom is GIT. Page number 17, before stool, rumbling, violent sudden urging and heaviness in rectum before stool. Okay, and during stool there is tenesmus and much flatness, and after stool there is so much faintness, so much weakness, so much prostration after stool. Before stool, rumbling sound, violent sudden urging तुरंत जाना है, and heaviness in rectum, so much heaviness. And during stool, tenesmus and much flatness. Okay, and after stool, faintness. And in hemorrhoids, blue. And in Aesculus there is hemorrhoids are purple, purplish, and rarely bleeding. And in yellow, there is blue, there is hemorrhoids are blue like a bunch of grapes, okay, like muriatic acid. And in hemorrhoids, constant bearing down in rectum, and in hemorrhoids, bleeding. In Aesculus, there is rarely bleeding, and in yellows, there is bleeding, sore, tender, hot, and relieved by cold water. Of course, this is understood. Like if there is so much hotness, and of course this it will be relieved by cold water. And in hemorrhoids, there is intense itching, and itching and burning the anus, preventing sleep at night. Okay, like you can write page number of Aesculus 8 and Ignitia page number 154. Okay. Now go for muriatic acid page number 209. Yes, this is muriatic acid. Muriatic acid, the point is, if the anus be very sensitive either with or without hemorrhoids, anus, okay, if the anus be very sensitive, like anus is too much sensitive with or without hemorrhoids, and anus sore during menses. Do you remember in ectodermosa there are symptoms aggravated, mental symptoms are aggravated during menses, and muriatic acid, anus sore during menses. And next point is hemorrhoids, hemorrhoids swollen blue, like aloes hemorrhoids are also blue, and muriatic acid hemorrhoids are also blue, and sensitive and painful to touch, sensitive and painful to touch, like spine sensitive in agaric acid number 11. And in hemorrhoids appear suddenly in children, and hemorrhoids too sore to bear least touch. Even the sheet is uncomfortable, like see, this is important, even the sheet is uncomfortable, this rare symptom. So you have to mark it, and this it may be MCQ your in this exam or next exam. And hemorrhoids prolapse while urinating. Even like you know what, like other drugs, even in loose stool like ignitia, then prolapse rani, but in uric acid, even passing urine, it can lead to prolapse of hemorrhoids. And the next is diarrhea stool involuntary, okay, while urinating stool involuntary, and diarrhea on passing wind, like अगर पास से हवा भी जा रही है ना तो भी उसे diarrhea होगा, like this, let's see. And in drugs yellow, and diarrhea can't urinate without having the balls move at the same time, like बिना स्टूल पास किए वो टॉयलेट कर ही नहीं सकता, यूरिन पास आउट कर ही नहीं सकता. Okay. Now go to our drug Aesculus again. This is our drug Aesculus page number 9. Okay, the symptom is female reproductive system. Like point is prolapse of uterus and acrid dark leukorrhea. Like of course it should be acrid because there is so much rawness, so much soreness, so much dryness. So it is acrid. Like there is so much acridity during leukorrhea, and leukorrhea is dark with lumbosacral backache. And even in GI system there is constipation is accompanied by severe lumbosacral backache. And in female reproductive system there is leukorrhea with lumbosacral backache and great fatigue because there is so much weakness and from walking. Okay, the next is back. Severe dull backache in lumbosacral articulation, lumbosacral region में बहुत pain होगा, and more or less constant. Okay, and back affecting sacrum and hips too. Okay, the next is back gives out. Okay, back actually give up कर देती है during pregnancy. There is so much pain. Back gives out prolapse, leukorrhea, and when walking or stooping must sit or lie down because there is so much pain during pregnancy, during leukorrhea, during prolapses. एंड इवन वो चलती है, झुकती है, खड़ी होती है, कोई भी होता है, लाइक कोई भी पेशेंट हो, देयर इज सो मच पेन. Next is sensation of heaviness and lameness in back. Okay. And nervous system, paralyzing feeling in arms, legs, and spine due to weakness because this patient becomes so much weak. And next is modalities. Aggravation due to motion. Yes, we got it because there is so much weakness and backache and soreness by walking and stooping. Okay, and aggravation inhaling cold air. Do you remember in Aesculus there is when we read nose point, there is rawness and sensitive to inhale cold air. Okay, and in modalities there is also inhaling cold air. Like overall modalities are also aggravated by inhaling cold air, and nose especially cold air. Okay, the next is relation. Like this part is most important part of whole drug. Every drug, कोई भी ड्रग रीड करो तो सबसे पहले तो उसको रिवाइज करो जितना हो सके उतनी बार. डोंट रिवाइज देन डोंट गो फॉर स्लीप. एंड सेकंड इज रिलेशन, बहुत अच्छे से पढ़ो हर साल इस रिलेशन पार्ट में से. लाइक मैथमेटिका से AIPGT एंड नेक्स्ट एग्जाम में कम से कम 17 से 18 क्वेश्चन आएंगे। सो हर 3-4 क्वेश्चन तो रिलेशन पार्ट के होंगे ही होंगे। So relation similar to aloes, collinsonia, ignitia, muriatic acid, nux vomica, sulfur. Like these drugs we read, but now we go for collinsonia, nux vomica. Right, page number of collinsonia, page number 108, and nux vomica is 224. Now go for collinsonia 2108. Yes, this is collinsonia. Like symptom first and second. Portal congestion resulting in hemorrhoids. Okay, portal congestion resulting in hemorrhoids, and in Aesculus there is also venous congestion, especially portal and hemorrhoidal. Okay, and second point is chronic painful bleeding piles, but in Aesculus there is rarely bleeding. Aloes there is bleeding. Okay, and in collinsonia there is also bleeding piles and sensation as if sticks, and in Aesculus there is sensation as if full of small stick rectum. Okay, and in collinsonia sensation as if sticks and sand or gravel had lodged in rectum, like मिट्टी भर दी हो जैसे rectum, ऐसे sensation आएंगे. Like you can write page number 8 of Aesculus here and ignitia 154 here. Okay, and hemorrhoidal dysentery with tenesmus and alternate constipation and diarrhea, congestive inertia of lower bowel, and stool sluggish and hard, like धीरे धीरे stool pass होगा, and hard with pain and great flatulence, constipation. Okay, now go for next drug, nux vomica, page number 224. Okay, nux vomica, yes, constipation, like GI system, last 4 points. Constipation with frequent unsuccessful desire, like of course अगर constipation है और एक बार में abdomen stomach clear नहीं हो रहा, then of course उसको unsuccessful desire रहेगी. And constipation passing small quantities of feces. Okay, and in constipation there is sensation as if not finished, because unsuccessful desire है and small quantity of feces आ रहा है, तो फिर of course उसको sensation ऐसा ही होगा as if not finished. Okay, the next is frequent desire for stool. Okay, we got it. And anxious, ineffectual, and relief for a time after stool. Like after stool, थोड़ी देर बाद उसे relief मिलता है. And in ignitia and in Aesculus, there is so much pain for hours in anus. Okay, but in nux vomica, after hours, there is relief. And frequent desire of stool in morning after rising. Yes. And frequent desire for stool after mental exertion, like थोड़ा सा tension हुआ तो तुरंत हो जाएगा, नहीं मुझे तो जाना है stool pass करने. The next point is alternate constipation and diarrhea. Yes, constipation and diarrhea. Okay. In sulfur there is also alternate constipation and diarrhea in persons who have taken purgatives all their lives. Like जो हमेशा जो चूर्ण खाते रहते हैं ना, ये उन लोगों के लिए है. And the next is, yes, the next वो अलग point है. Yes, there is 3 points which we have to read in nux vomica. Okay, now go to our drug, Aesculus. Yes, this is our drug, Aesculus. Relation. After collinsonia has improved piles, Aesculus often cures. Okay, collinsonia अगर piles ठीक हो जाए तो उसको Aesculus ठीक कर देती है. But nux vomica and sulfur ने अगर piles को ठीक है improve किया है, like ये नहीं कह रही cure किया, पर अगर improve किया है पहले से, तो फिर Aesculus उसको पूरा क्योर करने में सही नहीं हो पाएगी. उसके बाद कोई दूसरी रेमेडी ही देनी पड़ेगी अगर उसको क्योर करना है तो. ओके, सो अब हम ये रेमेडी खत्म करते हैं. अब हम हमारे हमेशा के रिचुअल के अनुसार लास्ट ड्रग अपन रिवाइज करेंगे. लास्ट ड्रग हमने पढ़ी थी एक्टिया रेसिमोसा. नाउ गो फॉर एक्टिया रेसिमोसा. ओह माय गॉड, yes, this is our drug Actia racemosa. Do you remember the what is the family of Actia racemosa? This is Ranunculaceae, like Actia racemosa race. So this is Ranunculaceae. And what is the common name of Actia racemosa? This is black cohosh. Yes, Actia racemosa race, run, so family Ranunculaceae. Other drug of Ranunculaceae family is aconite. The second name of Actia racemosa is Simicifuga. And go for mental, there is puerperal mania, like postpartum mania. And in aconite there is fear during pregnancy, and in Actia thinks she is going crazy and tries to injure herself, like she is so much acting, like she is going crazy, thinks she is crazy and tries to injure herself. And the next is mania following disappearance of neuralgia. Okay, we got it. And sensation as if heavy black cloud settled all over her and enveloped her head so that all is darkness and confusion. So things like black cloud में चारों तरफ से घेर रखा है, इसलिए उसकी जिंदगी में चारों तरफ अंधेरा ही अंधेरा है. The next is illusion of mouse running from under her chair. Like this is important. Like ये AI PGT में क्वेश्चन पूछा जा चुका है पहले भी. Illusion of mouse, like can and Ethusa and Actia racemosa. Okay, next is eyes, ciliary neuralgia. Do you remember in Arnica there is eye symptom, and this is hemorrhage in eye, retinal hemorrhage. And in Actia there is ciliary neuralgia, aching or sharp, darting, shooting pains in globes. Yes, extending to temples, vertex, occiput, orbit, and aggravation, going upstairs and relief by lying down. But in acetic acid, he can't lying on back, he lying on belly, and in ammonia carb, he also lying on belly relief. And in cardiovascular system, there is heart troubles from reflex symptoms of uterus or ovaries, yes, and heart action ceases suddenly, okay, heart action ceases suddenly and impeding suffocation in heart action, and palpitation from least motion. And in digitalis, go for digitalis, page number 121, there is palpitation from least motion in actia, and there is aggravation from least motion is digitalis. Okay, next is female reproductive system, menses, irregular, exhausting. Yes, menses, irregular, exhausting, so much exhausting. In alumina, like though so much exhaust, like she can't even speak. And in cocula, she can't stand. And in cargo animal, there is also she can't speak. There is so much weakness in all four drugs: alumina, coculus, carbo animalis, and actia racemosa. And men's is suppressed by delayed or suppressed by mental emotion, but in aconite there is amenorrhea due to fear, and in actia racemosa there is mental emotion. Men's is delayed or suppressed, and men's is delayed or suppressed from cold and fever also with chorea and hysteria or mania. And men's is increase of mental symptoms during menses. Okay, मेंटल सिम्टम्स इंक्रीज हो जाते हैं, लाइक उसमें जो ये जो क्रेजी शी thinks she is going crazy or tries to injure herself. This mental symptoms are increased during menses. Okay, the next page, go for page number 7. Okay, this is page number 7 of actia racemosa. Okay, this is severe left sided inflammatory pains. Lilium tig also left sided, and Usti logo is also left sided remedy. The next is sharp lancinating electric light pains, and in eyes there is shooting pains in globes. And in actia racemosa, in female reproductive system, there is sharp lancinating pain in electric pains in various parts, and sympathetic with ovarian or uterine irritation. Okay, in uterine region, dart from side to side, sharp lancinating pain in uterine region, dart from side to side. And in agaricus, the pain like there is like a hot needle or cold needle pricking, and in colophylum there is pain, piercing like pain, pricking pain, this kind of pain. Like when we did colophylum, we go for this. Okay, and in pregnancy, nausea, sleeplessness, and in pregnancy, false labor like pains. In pregnancy, sharp pains across abdomen, and in pregnancy, abortion at 3rd month, like in Sabina 2. And during labor, shivers in first stage, and during labor, convulsions from nervous excitement. Okay, and during labor, rigid or so rigid. And in during labor, pain, severe, spasmodic, tedious, and aggravation by least motion. Yes, agree. And do you remember like music you all be remedies पढ़ चुके हैं, like Sabadilla, Sabina, Thuja, Netram Carb. Like when you revise it, you can remember everything. Like if you don't revise, then don't go for sleep. And after pains, worse in the groins. And you know what? In colophylum, there is pains worse in in actia there is pains worse in the groins, and in colophylum pain worse in the groins across abdomen. And when given during last month of pregnancy, shortens labor, and if symptoms correspond, like colophylum pulsar, there is these kind of symptoms are also. Okay, rheumatic dysmenorrhea, there is so much pain during periods. Okay, neck and back. Rheumatic pains in muscles of neck and back, yes, and neck and back feel stiff, lame, contracted, and neck and back in spine sensitive from using arms in saving, typewriting, and piano playing. Like agaricus, also these kind of symptoms like sexual symptoms are increases due to weakness. Like agaricus, page number 11. Like spine irritation due to sexual excess, and is epilepsy from suppressed eruptions, and spine sensitive to touch, worse in the morning, and pain so reaching in lumbar and sacral regions. This is I am reading agaricus from book. In lumbar and sacral regions during exertion in the daytime or while sitting, like pain is increasing while sitting in agaricus and zincum too. And every motion, every turn of body causes pain in spine and single vertebra sensitive to too much touch. Too much sensitive to touch. Okay, in agaricus. Now go to our drug Actia racemosa. There is next is ranunculus bulbosus. Now we go for ranunculus bulbosus. Ranunculus bulbosus. Yes. Extremity. Muscular pain about margins of shoulder blade. Like shoulder blade, there is so much pain in women of sedentary employment like aconite, and extremity is often burning in small spots like agaricus. Okay, मैंने इसमें लिखा था like other drugs 255, right? Uh, in lilium tick, there is also pain in or burning in small spots, and in like this ranunculus bulbosa, there is also burning in small spots. And from Heidelberg typewriting piano playing like semisifuga. Okay, now go to our drug Actia racemosa. Yes. Uh, Rheumatism affecting the bellies of the muscles. Yes, it creates too much pain in muscles, pain, stitching, and cramping. Extremities, there is excessive muscular soreness after dancing, skating, or other violent muscular exertion. Like थोड़ा सा भी exercise कर लेगा, dance कर लेगा, gym में चला जाएगा. There is so much pain. If you know any kind of person, this type of pain having, then give this medicine to him. The next is nervous system. Spasms. Okay, spasm. What is spasms? Any heart complaint like hysterical or epileptic, like nervous complaint. Reflex. Spasm reflex from uterine disease. Yes, and spasm worse during menses. Like yes, this is important. Like lady की हालत खराब हो जाती है during periods. And spasm chorea, aggravation left side. Yes, this is left side remedy. And what is chorea? Chorea is dance like movement of body, and motility is aggravation during menses. Yes, the more profuse the flow, the greater the suffering. And if your girlfriend or wife, your mother, like anybody have this kind of pain like in menses, then give this remedy to her. And the next is relation similar to colophylum and pulsatilla in uterine rheumatic affections to agaricus, ilium tig, and sepia. Like colophylum, now do you want me to read colophylum? Okay, there is so much symptoms in colophylum. Yes, this is colophylum, especially suited to women, ailments during pregnancy, leukorrhea, habitual abortion from uterine debility, like in Sabina and Actia, there is third month abortion, spasmic rigidose, okay, delays labor, needle-like pricking pains in cervix, needle-like pricking pain in colophylum, and piercing pain of cold needles in agaricus, and electric-like pains in Actia, and spasmodic rigidose. Yes. And labor pains, short, irregular, spasmodic, and labor pains, tormenting. Labor pains, useless pain in beginning of labor, and in labor there is no progress made, and will correct deranged vitality and produce efficient pains if symptoms agree. And in hemorrhage after hasty labor, hemorrhage want of tonicity, and hemorrhage passive after abortion. Okay, yes. After pains, after long exhausting labor, spasmodic across lower abdomen. Like I told you in when we read Actia racemosa, like in Actia racemosa, after pains worse in the groins, but in colophylum worse across lower abdomen extend into groins. Yes, lochia protracted greater. I don't know. Yes. Now go to Lilium tig. This is last. Lilium tig affects principally left side of body and pain in small spots, and in ranunculus burning in small spots and constantly shifting pain. Okay, and in Lilium tig there is heart's cardiovascular symptom 2, palpitation, fluttering fan, hurried engines, the sensation about apex, pain in left chest awakens at night. Okay, and palpitation, irregular pulse, extremities, cold and covered with cold sweat, aggravation after eating, lying on either side. Okay, left side like this. So our drug is completed. Thank you, and do revise. If don't revise, then don't go for sleep. Thank you. Keep watching.